But why, some say, the moon? Why choose this as our goal? And they may well ask, why climb the highest mountain? Why 35 years ago, fly the Atlantic? Why does Rice play Texas? We choose to go to the moon.
And welcome back to another episode of Bamboozler Plays Kerbal Space Program. And you join us today in episode 10. Just gonna put my phone away. And this is the episode, the big one. We plan to go to the Mun and do the other things, not because it is easy, but because it is hard. And you're joining us in this episode today where we have a bunch of science, a bunch of spaceos, and lots of things to plan for our first, what I would call actually our biggest milestone to date. Now, if you joined us in the previous episode, Brother Jeddas and Jebediah, they managed to do a sort of a test experiment to see if a landing craft can actually land on a planetary body. We went to Mimas, the brothers did, and it was a success. We landed on a nice flat salt area or salt plain, or they were called the flats, I believe. And and they came back with a bunch of science. So we can actually think about getting some more science, although we're kind of limited to what we can still spend is basically this aviation, aerodynamics, and space exploration. Because if we want to get the rest of the science, we're actually going to need to upgrade our science. Our science, what do you call it? Our research development center, our R&D. But the problem with this is that it costs us a lot of spaceos to do so, right? That's 451 spaceos, 1,000 I should say, and we only have about 512 spaceos at this point in time. So we are currently a KSP, which is good. We don't want to go back to a BSP where again we're kind of budgeting our space program, even though we're creating monstrosity of rockets and things like that. But it did get me thinking. The spaceship that we took to Mimbus, where we landed both Jeddas and Jebediah, we could take that same spaceship to the Mun and come back with even more science and even more spaceos, which would then give us more of a think about what we then want to do next in terms of any kind of like progression within this game or anything like that. And so I think in terms of long-term planning, my thought process is let's get to the Mun with the spaceship that we have. We know it works. We know we can do this because we've proven it. And instead of the brothers going, let's take Valentina and one of the twins, or maybe we can even recruit a new Kerbal into our fleet of Kerbinauts, and take them to the moon or the Mun and let them make some history as well by planting flags and all of that other nature. Which reminds me, we should probably be looking at any kind of mission control building to see if there's any missions for us to do, because at this moment in time, as you can see, we don't have anything that is actually active. So we have collect science. We can do that. Where there once a checklist. Oh, hang on a second. We're in this like where all of these are like sort of combined with a bunch of different things. So let's look at this availability. So landing on the Mun is definitely something that we would like to do. It's going to give us a hefty 132,000 spaceos, which is good. It's not going to give us anything up front, but it is going to give us something to start off with. And what's interesting here is that we have another plant the flag on Mimbus, which is great. But we've already done that. And we're not going to go back to Mimbus. We want to go to the Mun. So certainly we're going to take this one. And I don't think that there's anything else in particular that is like Mun related. Most of this is science from and around Mimbus again. Some orbital maneuvers of the home world, which I assume is Kerbin. The sun, which we're definitely not going to yet. It's a little bit far away. And a little hot. Mimbus again. Something to do in orbit again. Some other stuff. We can rescue somebody, but maybe that's something for a little bit later. So yeah, right now the only one we really have is just the one that we selected, which is land on the Mun, which I think is basically, you know, our main goal anyways. We'll plant a flag because we will do those things, because why not? So yeah, so my thinking is no research development, no science expenditure. We'll just double check that there's no like little stuff like space exploration. I mean, there's some ladders. Last time we didn't have ladders, I remember. And that would lead us into more advanced stuff, which I think we will take anyways at some point. So there's a cargo EVA repair kit, some storage stuff. I don't know what any of this stuff does. We'll have to research that. And some nice lights, which I don't even know how to bring. And some experiment control station thingy. And these ones, I mean, they're nice to take, but they're really just airplane stuff for now, which I don't think we're going to be using in this mission at all. So if we're going to take anything, it's this, and I don't see anything here where I'm like, look, we're gonna take some of this stuff with us to the Mun, because we have our spaceship, so I think we're good. We have our mission. So let's go back to our VAB, our vehicle assembly building, and let's load up our Mimus 4, which is this one. It's got 115 parts and 13 stages to this monstrosity of a rocket. Look at that giant thing. That will definitely get us into the mud. So yeah, I think the staging for this one, just to double check, is all situated correctly. We got those that go off, we got that goes off, we got the engine, we got the protective shell, which we can manually do, we got that, we got that, we got that, we got the parachutes and everything else. So I think we're good here. I think for this one, Jebediah is going to sit this one out. Ooh, yeah, we should actually look to see if we can actually recruit a new Kerbinaut into our space program, because we do have some space O's. We should spend some of it. We shouldn't just become, keep them, in our what is it? Our savings account, where it just basically, gives us like 1% increase every year over year. But let's just go down this list. Let's see if there's anyone that's here that might look a little bit interesting for us to add to our space agency. We got Caulfield, which is weird. He's got high courage and a lot of stupidity. We like that. But honestly, I like Lise Van Kerman a lot more, because I'm assuming this is a girl, because her courage is basically 0 and her stupidity is super high. I mean, that will always get us out of a predicament kind of situation. You'll never know how those kind of, interesting scenarios can actually plan out. We got Gene Dunn Kerman, who's an engineer. Got more scientists. We got Gemwin. We got enough pilots. We got 3 pilots, so really we need to look at some scientists. So I'm thinking Liz Van is a nice scientist to take. Otherwise, Caulfield or Kimmald. Yeah, we're going for Liz. Liz, who has no courage, does not want to be recruited, ended up going to this school of Kerbinaut, forced by her parents, flunked the tests many times because of her stupidity. But you know what? She's going to be a terrific addition to our space program. So Liz, welcome to our great Kerbal space program. You are our new recruit, and we are happy to have you. And guess what? We are going to take you to the Mun. That's exactly what we're going to do. Okay, and this time it's going to be Valentina who's going to be our pilot. So we're going to go for an all-women history-making mission over here, which is great because last time we went the brothers. Now we're going to go with the... they're not sisters. We just know that Liz is a scientist who wasn't very... is a little bit stupid, a little bit dim. And obviously we got Valentina, who's the wife of Jebediah. I mean, they're basically couples. And they're interchangeable. And yeah, basically now it's Jebediah's turn to take care of the kids. So, we got our rocket. We got our Kerbinauts. We got our staging. We checked all of that out as well. We have all the science that we... Should we take some fireworks with us? That'd be kind of stupid, right? But we have a scientist on board who is not the brightest of the brights. So we are definitely going to take a little bit of a, how do you say this, fireworks with us, and we are going to place it right over here. Which we'll see what that does. I think it'll be fine. All right, let's save the ship just because we got the fireworks now, which is what Liz will fire for us as a scientist. She's a little bit stupid. She could just focus on the experiments that we're taking with us, but she thought, you know what? We should know if fireworks work on the Mun, and I kind of agree with her on this one. I think she has a point. We should also take a flag with us, just so that we're representing a little bit more of our, our beautiful space program. So let's put that there, and let's get ready for launch. All right, not lunch, launch. Lunch was many, many hours ago. But I will have a sip of water while we wait, and we get onto the launch pad. All right, so here we are on a beautiful day. The sun is setting, or it's rising. I don't know which one it is, but if we stare long enough at the sun, it will basically tell us. I think it's setting. Setting. We are headed to the Mun. Can we see the Mun somewhere here? We cannot, not yet. Anyways, it's a brisk little day. There's a bit of wind again, similar as always, kind of pointing to that's that side of things. Yeah, that side of things. But yeah, not many clouds in the sky, so I think it's a good time for a launch. So we're going to turn on our SCS, and then we are going to punch through the air. Now, from what I remember, we were quite slow right off the launch pad, so we're not going to go great for an angle straight away, but we are going to launch. And here we go. Off to the Mun we go. So we're going to try and punch through that thick part of the atmosphere first, as we've done before. I'm quite happy with this rocket. I mean, this is... it's a fantastic machine that we managed to build here. That'll take us to Mimas and the Moon. And one thing we did really mess up though is that we did not call this the Mimas 5, because it is technically the 5th iteration of this type of rocket that we're firing. So when we come back, we're probably gonna have to rename this one again, just for the first time. But yeah, after that, we'll need to think about what we do after that, because yeah, once we've landed on the Mun, I mean, it's pretty much, you know, we achieved what we set out to achieve, but there's so much more to explore. So we'll figure that out when we get there. So just looking at the fuel, it's about half empty on the exterior tanks, which is good, but they are filtering into the medium tank. Just trying to pick up a lot more speed. Our apoapsis is already at above around 12k in the air, which is good. So we're shifting our trajectory a little bit to already start to create that nice round orbit which we had for the Mimas mission, which went flawlessly, by the way. So at this point, I'm actually quite happy as well. We're doing pretty much the same. Like, we're really just smashing it right now. Apoapsis of nearly 30k. And we're going to detach the side rockets and continue with the one engine in the middle. And that was a brilliant attachment, and hopefully those engines don't fall on our space program. But it looks like through the disturbance within the air and everything else, that they're definitely going to land somewhere out in the shores, or somewhere in the I don't know, the rainforest area over there. But yeah, we're kind of getting distracted, because yeah, we should be turning a little bit more on a 45-degree angle. As we can see here, Mount Kerbinauts, I think is what we called it, sticking out, a big giant mountain which we will need to visit at some point for sure. But we'll do that once we get a little bit more of the what is it, the airplane stuff, when we've got more science than we could think about doing. So plenty of things to do once we land on the Mun, but let's focus on this mission. We're getting way too far ahead, because we're not even in orbit yet, and our apoapsis is only at 60k, so we're not even in space yet with this monstrosity of a rocket, but we're definitely going in the right direction. So I'm going to continue punching through this part of the atmosphere, and apoapsis is going to reach around the 70k. We're just going to basically empty out the fuel tank in this general direction, because yeah, the next stage is really the stage that's gonna allow for the actual orbit. Big explosion, but no worries, we're gonna fire away anyways, and we're all good. We still got 3 engines firing, and at this point we're really gonna start creating a lot of speed with those 3 swivel engines firing at full cylinder, getting ourselves up into space. So again, our apoapsis is around 80k, so we're definitely gonna try and make that cylindrical fall off a Kerbin right now, and basically face the night as we head into the night of Kerbin, the dark side of Kerbin. And a jingle just told me that we are in space, so that's good. So far, mission's going quite well. Still a long way to go to actually orbit around Kerbin. But we're going to continue pushing sideways. We've still got more than a good chunk of, more than half of a fuel tank left. And we're already really making a lot of stride on our periapsis. It's going quite quickly. If you can see here from this map view, we've got a pretty nice inclination right here. I think we're about, I don't know, I'd say that'd be a third of the way there. I think we're about a third of the way there. So hopefully we'll have some extra fuel left over. And I don't want our apoapsis to really go above the 100,000 meter mark. I think that's a nice kind of orbit, you know, round number to be at for this particular one. So we're gonna just keep track of that number and then switch off the engine once we get there. We're pretty much just a little, there we go, 100,008 kilometers, so pretty good. And at this point, because we are in space, we're going to deploy our protective shell, because we don't need that anymore. And now we're going to look really spacey. We're in space and we're really spacey at this point. And I think what we're going to do is Valentina, while we wait to get to the 100K, Valentina's going to do a little spacewalk for us, do a little EVA report. Probably nothing there for us to do because Jebediah took all of that science already. But if there is experience to be gained from spacewalks, at least Liz and Valentina are going to get that. And I almost clicked on remove helmet, which I don't think is a good idea at that point. But, you know, Liz isn't one of the bright ones. She might be stupid enough to actually lift up our helmet in space, all part of science. We don't know if she'll ever do that. So, yeah, if it had happened, yeah, I wouldn't have been surprised. So, yeah, we're really doing a good job at this point. I think we're definitely going to be able to have a nice circular orbit around Kerbin. So the sit rep is good. We're getting pretty close to our apoapsis, but you can see here, not even that close, like it's a nice curvature that we've built at this point. So we don't want to, basically what we want to do is we might want to warp here just to, for the sake of time, otherwise this episode will be like 7 hours long, get to the 100K part and start increasing the speed of our ship, and then keep track of our periapsis and our apoapsis, that they don't get out of control entirely into the wrong places that we don't want it to go, which it almost did. So 130 and 100,000 is pretty much where we want to be. We are in a little bit of a strange spin, which I'm not too happy about, but we're gonna stop that. So Valentina, come on, course correct, please. I know it's a big ship. We're still really not going in the direction that we want to go, but we did stop the spin, so that's good. And we're gonna head over to this section over here, because instead of going to Mimbus, we're gonna go to the Mun. And that's not as far away, which is good, which means less fuel. But because the gravitational pull is larger in the Mun, we're gonna need more fuel to slow our descent down. And look at that, we already immediately made an encounter happen with the Mun here. But what we do want to do is, because I think that was the one thing that we really struggled with when we went to Mimbus, is that the maneuver situation that we had, we were quite high of a periapsis of the Mun, and we would like to avoid that. We want to be as low as we can, which means expending more fuel. But I think it would be for the better. So look at that, 13K. So we'll need a burn time of 1 minute and 27 seconds, which is definitely more than the fuel that we have here. But that does mean that we're going to basically brush the surface on one side of the Mun, which then we can use the third stage to basically slower descent down entirely, right? So we basically, we're going to get there in like, oh my gosh, we need to get there like in 5 seconds. Okay, start burning, because we need to turn the ship around. Okay, and start burn. Go. That was close. Okay, we might mess that up a little bit, but regardless, we're heading to the moon. We're gonna go ahead and create an encounter. The burn time is definitely being a bit strange. It's counting down in a very odd and peculiar way, but that's fine. We're gonna decrease that one. We're going to fire off this engine and leave some space debris out there, and then we've got about a minute burn left on this particular engine, which is good because it's not gonna deplete it, not even halfway, I think, the time that we need to burn to get to the Mun. So I'm really happy with that, because then we can use the rest of the fuel here to slow our descent down, get into a low orbit, and really, you know, use that fuel to slow ourselves down. Meaning we're going to have plenty of fuel as well, so to make sure that we find the right spot to land on. So just change the view again so that we're not overshooting it again, because we do want to focus in on the target on our radial, I guess. I don't know, compass. There's a word for it, I forgot. I've used it before, but right now it's not on my mind. Maybe that stupidity from Liz is contagious. It's It's crossing into different planes. But regardless, we are getting close, and I'm super happy with this mission up to this point, because it's going to slow it down just a little bit so we don't overshoot it, and we can control the periapsis a little bit more. So where are we now? Here we go. Let's watch this as it declines and declines and declines and declines and declines and declines. Come on, do a little bit more. Do your work. There you go. We're getting there into the single digits, double digits, which is the 55. Let's get down to about 20. That's nice. 13. Perfect. Okay. So that's basically maneuver node done. Now we can just sit here and wait. Fantastic. I mean, this has gone up to this point so unbelievably well. I almost feel like we should hit the fireworks, but we're not, because we haven't completed the mission. The mission is to land on the Mun, and then we will fire the fireworks on the Mun, because Liz said we need to test to see if fireworks work on the Mun. And then we are gonna head straight back to Kerbin, collect all the science and the spaceos, and then basically host have a Kerbin party, right? Have a Kerbin party. This is going swimmingly. Like I really just can't be happier right now than where we are today. So gonna speed up the time. Just otherwise we'll be here for hours and hours and hours. And as you can see, the Mun is right there in our sights. It's gonna get bigger and bigger and bigger as we get closer and closer and closer, and hopefully we'll be caught in its gravitational pull. And again, I think what we want to do and make sure that we do is that we also land on the sunny side of the Mun, because then that allows us to see things better. I believe we are already in its orbit, because the speed did slow down tremendously. So I'm gonna check. Yes, we are, and our periapsis is at 13K. So that's fantastic. We're gonna point retrograde. We're gonna let Valentina actually change that direction for us. She can do this because she has super good controls in our beautiful lander right here, and a beautiful view of the cosmos. Look at that. She should be taking pictures. She's got notes there from Jebediah. Don't forget, right? You got to use these buttons to lower the landing gear, and obviously, I mean that is our how do I say that? That is our we need to get our telecommunication thing open, because we're in space right now. That's pretty crazy that we haven't done that yet, and it also will create a better view for our one and only Valentina. Look at that. Oh, so beautiful. Oh, we can see Kerbin there in the corner. Just a beautiful blue ball there in the sky with the amazing view of the cosmos. Are we able to see? How do we get? Oh, look at this. All right. This is the view from Liz. She does not get to see a lot, but that's okay, because she gets to use this time to ponder about the experiments that we're going to do out in space, and if she's going to pull this lever, yes or no. But it looks very cozy inside, for sure, so that's good. And she's got all the telemetry that she needs here to get us to the Mun. Now, that makes me think, do you think that there's somebody out there that plays Kerbal Space Program in this view only, and then has to imagine if that's even possible? I wouldn't even know if that's possible. I'm not gonna try it. Okay, let's get back to business. All right, we're pointing in a retrograde situation, so we're gonna actually lower ourselves into a lower orbit. We're gonna speed it up a bit, and as you'll see, the Mun is going to get bigger and bigger and bigger. And look at our beautiful spaceship and Kerbin there in the background. Unbelievable, unbelievable. We are really creating some amazing milestones at this point. And it's pretty interesting as well, right? Like if you look at the Mun and its surface, it really does, just like I think with Mimbus, there are different biomes for us to explore. Which is great because we have a spaceship, the Mimbus class, the Mimbus 4 at least, /5, I guess is the 5th version of it, with the what was it, the fireworks on board, is definitely. We're gonna slow it down, otherwise, so we're just a bit more in control. Will always be an easy way for us to collect some science, because I mean we haven't landed yet, but I'm pretty confident that we're going to be in a good place for this. So, I mean, honestly, like at this point, like what could possibly go wrong? Well, what could possibly go wrong is that I mistimed the orbital slowdown. So let's put that speed into play right now. We should start making a nice circular orbit, and we'll decrease this side of the orbit very much to be in line with around the 13K distance, which this apoapsis basically needs to go down to. So actually, it was actually a good thing that we ended up going beyond the periapsis, because as you can see, it's definitely declining rather quickly. Well, we probably would have wanted to do it a little bit before. I honestly don't know. Before or after, but what we don't want to do is we don't want to get underneath the 10K, because what if there's like a mountain area? Well, it's hard to see from the dark side of the moon. Let's just go for it, because we do. Yeah, let's just go for it. We got a bunch of fuel. Let's just decrease this apoapsis even more. Let's get this all the way down so that we can maybe like try and pick like an area where, I mean, probably got the one to land somewhere over here. I mean, would it be nice in the crater area, but probably want to stop the speed, because otherwise we're going to be landing right here, which is not what we want to be doing. Although, yeah. So, now where would we be landing? Oh, on this side. Okay, that's not too bad, because we're going to slow down even more, meaning we're probably going to land somewhere on this section over here. The only thing that I'm a little bit worried about is that we are going quite high into its orbit with quite a bit of fuel remaining. So I'm actually going to burn some more fuel, because why not? Just lower our apoapsis even more, because we need to slow down. This is actually kind of good, because now we're really going to be on the sunny side. The only problem with this is that we're not going to have any contact with Kerbin. So, as you can see here, there's the green line right now, which is our communicatron that's communicating with Kerbin. Okay, we're going to need to slow this down quite a bit. We're going to warp over here. That's gonna get blocked up by the moon pretty soon, I feel like. I mean, right now we can just about make out that we still have a bit of communication with the home front. So, Valentina, get on the phone. Tell Jebediah I miss you. I'm gonna see you on the other side, okay? Just gonna land on the moon, and then everything's gonna be fine. Say hi to the kids, and at that point, yeah, I think the communication's gonna end. Although it is going through the moon right now, which is interesting. Liz, tell us about the science. How is this possible? How is this possible? She's gonna have to do some sort of a science experiment and explain how this line of communication is still possible. Maybe it's bouncing off the moon. That could also be it. But yeah, we still have communication, apparently, and it stopped. There you go. See, now we got to a denser part of the moon, which doesn't allow us to do too much. So we're in a good height. We're gonna take a little sip of water as we approach the moon and start scouting for a nice area for us to land. This all looks very jaggedy, which is making me a bit nervous. Not gonna lie, it's a little nerve-wracking because the last thing we want to do is basically tip over, because then we're gonna have to send out a rescue mission, and I do not know how I'm gonna land in the same spot twice. I mean, we'll figure it out, obviously. But let's not think doom scenario. Right now, we have a bunch of fuel left in this tank, which is great because we want to use it to decelerate even further before we start using the rest of the fuel. I'm thinking at around 15K is when we really start to engage the. Whoa! That went too fast. Okay, we're gonna do it at 8K, and we're gonna really start to slow down. And I think this is a decent area to go land. I mean, not this area. Maybe. I mean, it's all kind of crap, to be honest. I mean, that would have been nice over there. That looks kind of flat. The rest looks all very, very jaggedy. But I do think that we need to use all of our fuel at this point. I'm starting to get a little bit concerned that we might have overshot this. So hopefully if I push up, maybe we go more up. Yeah. We increase our apoapsis any kind of way. Slow down even more, please. Uh-oh. This is no good. This is terrible. This is really, oh my god, this is going to be a big emergency. Are we going to slow down enough? Because we're heading into the entry of this cave. We don't have enough speed. We are going... Uh-oh, Valentina, this is not good. This is really not good. 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 We're going way too fast. Way too fast. Way too fast. This is an absolute horrendous mission. Oh my god, I'm so sorry. Well, with that being said, thank you for watching this this episode, and hopefully we'll see you there at the next one when we retry this mission in the honor of Valentina Kerman and Liz, because they're dead. There's nothing left. Would have been a nice landing spot though. It's pretty flat. All right, see you at the next episode. Goodbye.